Welcome to the space. My name is Nicholas. Lovely to have you in co-creation in this beautiful moment together. So the video that sprung into my inspired awareness this morning is a super relevant one, and it's about exploring how do we move through self-sabotage and or procrastination. So I'd like to share with you a little story of an experience that I had about 10 years ago. I knew from about 2009 the very thing that I had a lot of fear about, that I had a lot of resistance about, was in the sphere of self-expression, particularly speaking. So just to give you an idea, I experienced a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. My body would go into some form of shock. In an extreme sense, even terror would arise as an energy, as an experience in my actual body. It would feel like someone was kind of strangling my throat, and my hands would really be quite sweaty. On numerous occasions, I would experience mind fog. I would find it challenging to clearly know what it is that I wanted to share. So that was my experience and my relationship with speaking, and it was something that I avoided like the plague. About 10 years ago, there was this moment of truth or reckoning in my being where I recognized the highest truth of this life for me is to explore self-expression. And often the very challenge, the demons, the dragons, the highest level of resistance is where the greatest amount of treasure lies on the other side. And so I went through about a 3-year period where I participated at Toastmasters, I participated in smaller speaking groups, I participated even at speaking gigs towards the end of that period. And there was this intense battle that used to take place every single time. And it looked something like this. I would be invited to participate in a speaking gig, and there would be a moment of excitement, a moment of reckoning, a moment of, yes, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And as it got closer to the time, I would then experience different excuses, different thoughts, different feelings, different emotions that would come into my body. So for example, some of the thoughts looked like, we don't need to do it now, we could do it later. Or this is not really that important, you can do other things are more important right now. Or I would just have this real kind of energetic sense of just wanting to avoid it, wanting to be somewhere else. There wouldn't necessarily even be a thought pattern, but just the sense of like, oof, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to be in front of people. I didn't want to speak. And there was always this battle. Now, sometimes I would cancel and I wouldn't go. And other times I would follow through. And what happened when I did follow through is that initially there was this sense of relief within me. I felt this like, oh, on one hand, I'm glad that it's over. On another hand, I was also really proud that I moved through that initiation, that challenge. And then after that, a sense of excitement. I'm sharing that with you because you may have a self-sabotaging procrastination tendency in another area of your life. It could be in anything. In today's video, I'd like to go a little bit deeper than that. Like, what is actually going on below the surface? And we might even ask, why do we even self-sabotage? How does that even serve us? What is the gem in that experience? So in my discovery over the last sort of 10 years with that, because it was a very significant part of my initiation and journey, I realized that there's an inner aspect within me that wanted to stay safe and wanted to belong, and wanted to play life in a kind of predictable, easeful, comfortable way. So that was kind of the underlying driver of why that self-sabotage happened. And so there was a resistance, a reluctance to step into my greatness or to step into what it is that my soul wanted to experience and to explore. Remembering that what my soul wants, what your soul wants, and what your ego wants are two very different things. The soul is primarily orientating itself around experience and growth. And it doesn't actually really care so much about whether it was a positive experience or a negative experience. It's more interested in what actually unfolded and how did I actually handle what unfolded. The ego, on the other hand, is looking for life to be much more comfortable. It wants things to be secure, predictable, comfortable, easeful. So there is a tension that exists between these two forces. Now, most people are operating primarily through their ego nature. They have glimpses of the soul, and if you choose, and it does require a conscious choice, daily applied willpower to align to what your soul wants, then obviously the scales tip and you become a master of moving into the unknown. You become a master of breaking free from the glass ceiling of your life, and you welcome in new experiences, welcoming in connecting with new people, new places, new situations, and you welcome all of it, whether it's positive or negative. Now, in order to do that, there is a huge process of self-mastery that is required. There's all sorts of skill sets, things you need to learn. How do you orientate yourself in reality? Who and what am I truly? What is the purpose of life, my life, and what is my greatest contribution to life? All of those questions are essential questions in order to be able to move into a soulful life. So back to the procrastination. So I've given you one layer of why that exists. We're going to go another layer deeper. Many people are profoundly and deeply afraid of stepping into their greatness. They're afraid of their power, of their magnificence, of the true quintessential magnificence and essence that lies within their being. And this is also an initiation. So the analogy that I would like to share with you, because there is a sweet spot, there is a balance spot between two shadow polarities. And that is like when you pick up an acorn and you look at this beautiful acorn, it's reasonably small. And you know that the potential of this acorn is to grow into an enormous oak tree. Splendid, magnificent, powerful, deep penetrating roots that anchor into the earth and branches that touch the sky. But when you look at the acorn, it's quite small, it's quite petite. It's really quite insignificant. And I really feel that this analogy is very relevant for humanity at this time, because for most of us, when we see ourselves, we're just looking at the acorn. And for most people, they are not even able to comprehend what their full potential actually is. What does that look like? What does it even look like to be in my greatness, to be in my magnificence? The shadow aspects that I want to kind of bring awareness to is this is not about self-aggrandizement or superiority or arrogance or wanting to be better than everyone. That again comes from the ego nature. On the other hand, the other side of it is it's also not about hiding, playing small, being indifferent, going along with what others think or say or do. So the balance point is when we choose our soulful truth. Who and what am I? And what is it that I'm here to do? Because that's the middle path. That's the sweet spot. That's the power and the road, the soulful road. And it's quite a narrow road. It's quite easy to fall into either of those camps, which I've certainly done on numerous occasions. So now that we've got context of what's going on, where does this procrastination kind of come from? What are some of the fears that people are afraid of? Well, naturally, if I step into my greatness and I start to be seen, people are going to pay attention to you. People are going to notice you, potentially. Now, you're not doing it to get attention. You're not doing it to be liked or not to be liked. You're doing it because it's your truthful, joyful, natural truth to do that, right? Self-expression is my primary soul theme in this life, and it may be yours. And if it is yours, there'd be a lot of resistance and there'll be all these blocks and barriers and edges that will be in your path. That's usually a test to know, whether something actually is truly representative for you to explore in this life. There is the fear of judgment. There's the fear of criticism. People profoundly do care what others think, say about them. And what I would like to share with you about that is ultimately what other people think about you is none of your business. And in fact, there's nothing that you can do about that, because each person is experiencing reality from their own unique perspective. Each person is filtering reality through a whole series of belief systems, memories, emotions, a soul akashic records or memories of what's happened in their past. So no person is seeing reality as it is. We're perceiving it through these filters. And so it is such a relief for me anyhow when I realize that I can let go of what other people think. And it is definitely a process and an initiation. But the benefit of that is that the freedom that you feel in you being you and you being able to express yourself is exquisitely extraordinary. So the final part of this video is, well, how do you move through that? Now that I've shared with you some of the deeper reasons, the underlying constructs, the makeup, which most people are not aware of, how do you actually move through this? So the first thing is, as you anchor your awareness into your heart, into your being, there becomes an awareness that moves through you that no matter what happens in your life, that you can handle it. That it's coming into your life for the purpose of growth and experience and evolution. So whether it's positive or negative, you're either going to learn from it, crystallize that wisdom and then apply it back into your life, or you're going to experience a quantum shift and experience the fruits, the benefits of that. The second key point that I would like to raise is detaching from what or how you would love your life to look like. So again, from the egoic point of view, people are attached to what their life should be like or how it should look. And the truth is that we have no control over that. Yes, we can have a vision. Yes, we can become aware of the metaphysical, the quantum physics principles of how to create your reality. And yet there is still a mystery. There is still this unknown space. There is still a path and a process that you and me and everyone have to walk through, and we don't know what that is. The third key point is making friends with feeling uncomfortable feelings. Again, the mind and the egoic part of us runs towards pleasure and it avoids pain. So this mechanism needs to be neutralized to some degree. To build that muscle within yourself where you're able to bring your loving presence and your power into the experience and feel and be with whatever is there, and to really witness and experience life to your best of your ability as it is. The fourth point is choosing to align to your higher nature, your divine soulful truth. Now, there is a soul blueprint. There is a destiny path that is available to you. However, you have to choose and use your willpower, and over a period of time, the crystallization of that soul destiny blueprint will come to you in pieces. In my experience, it doesn't come in one go. You'll get pieces and you have to take the inspired actions and integrate those pieces first before the next wave comes through. So there's two things that I'd like to leave you with. The first is, in this moment, during these enormous changes that are happening on the planet, what is the most truthful focus, awareness, and choice that you can be making? Where have you been procrastinating or sabotaging yourself, your most truthful natural evolution? Where have you been playing small or hiding or withdrawing? And I'd like to leave you to ponder that, to contemplate that from a neutral place, not from a judgment place, just from a neutral place, to bring awareness to it, because through awareness, change and evolution can emerge. For those that are ready to step into their greatness, I'd like to invite you into a very powerful, sacred alchemical container where I'll guide you over a period of time to really align, to choose, and to magnetize into your greatness, into your truth, and to start creating a life that aligns to your soul blueprint, to what it is that you came here to explore and experience. And because I've been on this journey now for 14 years, there are many traps, pitfalls, meanders, detours that exist on this path. And so being able to step into an alchemical container, to have that support, to have that connection, to have that love, and for someone to see you in your greatness and consistently reflect that back is extraordinarily powerful. So if that is you, then please send me a message and I will invite you into a free alignment call where we will connect and share and talk about life, about you, about your life, and see what is powerfully possible for you at this time. I send you my blessings and I look forward to connecting with you soon.